Hey dailies across the world, I'm so glad you press play. Today I want to talk to you about the 3 Ps in order to stay highly passionate for this year and for the year to come. Now, I remember coming to Canada for the very first time, and I remember having my luggage in my hand, and as I approached the lady at the counter, she said, of course, put your bags on the scale. And I put it on the scale, and the scale went off. And I was like, uh-oh. She looked at me, I looked at her, and she said, I'm sorry, sir, but your bags are overweight. And I'm like, okay, shoot, now I'm going to have to take things out. Okay, I went to the bag, unzipped it, and I had to take things out. I had to look and I had to see what was important and what was not. And this brings me to the first P. In order for us to go onto our destination, like myself having to go onto the aeroplane, I had to take certain things out of my luggage. And so do you. There are certain people that you need to take out of your suitcase in order to go onto your destination. Now, I'm not sure who I'm talking to right now, but if this applies to you, I want you to examine your circle of friendship, your circle of family. And I want you to examine to see who are you going to let go on your trip, or who are you going to be taking out of that suitcase. Now, I know many of us have a big heart. Many of us are empaths. We feel what others feel, and we like to make others feel comfortable, safe, and included. But I don't know if this is you, but because of that, sometimes that attribute has been keeping you where you are right now. So my question to you is, who's in your circle that needs to go? And also, who's in your circle that needs to stay? So that was the first P, people. The second P is past. Now, I remember a quote that my cousin Nigel quoted. It's a quote of Michael Hyatt, and the quote said, and I will never forget this, he said, many a times those that has lost their way are many a times those that has lost their why. Let me say that again. Many a times those that has lost their way are many a times those that has lost their why. You know, this reminds me of a story of David and Goliath. Yeah, that old Bible story. I'm sure you remember this one, where David was a little shepherd boy and he was tending to his sheep. And as he was tending to his sheep, suddenly a lion came, and he tussled and he overcame the lion. On another occasion, a bear came. He wrestled and tussled and he overcame the bear. Then, one day, a giant appeared, named Goliath. And when David stepped up to him, he said this in his mind, and I'm sure he declared it out of his mouth too. He said, because I overcame the bear, because I overcame the lion, I can surely overcome my Goliath. And I want to encourage you, I'm going to take the moment out right now. There were moments in your life where you thought you were not going to make it. There were times in your life you thought, how am I going to pay the rent? Yeah? How am I going to pay next month's bills? Maybe you were in hospital and you were wondering to yourself, how am I going to get out of this situation? Yeah? But look at you now. You were watching me on YouTube and you made it. And I want to encourage you, just like David, you may have a Goliath in your life right now. You may have an obstacle that is so big, it's a giant in your life. I want you to think about what David said, and I want you to declare with me right now that because I overcame the bills, I overcame the health scare, I can surely overcome what I'm facing right now. That's P number 2. I hope that encouraged you. The last P is purpose. Now, the quote of Michael Hyatt actually comes into the third P. The third P of Michael Hyatt that said, many times those that have lost their why, or rather their way, are many times those that have lost their why. I believe many of us are not anticipating a great new year or looking forward to a new year because there's no why. There's no compelling future that you can strive towards. You see, if you have a compelling future, something to look forward to. Do you remember those days when you were a kid and the night before an exciting event, you couldn't sleep? You wanted to go to bed, but you just couldn't sleep because you were in anticipation of what's to come. My question to you is, do you have something that you are anticipating? Or are you stuck thinking about your present situation and what happened in the past? I want you to think about this one for a moment, because this is crucial. You cannot get that fire back for the new year if you are having no compelling future ahead of you. So I want to encourage you. Let's recap. First P is people. Second P is past. And third P is purpose. I hope this encouraged you. From my heart to yours, know that I love you, know that I care. And know daily is that, as we always mention, that we are not here just to survive, we are here to thrive. And until next time, peace.